Hello guys, am I audible? Can you just confirm me on this? Hello guys, am I audible? I'll just quickly share my screen and let me know if you guys can able my screen or not. Yeah, were you able to see my screen, guys? Able to see my screen now? Cool. Good evening, guys. I hope I'm audible and clear here. Yeah. Let's make this. Let's make this a useful session. And I'd really appreciate if you guys can have a bit patience, had a good seat, and we'll start something cool today. And I want you all to like respond in the chat if you guys want to send me something or like talk to me on the chat. Please message in the chat, guys. So yeah, I hope you are all able to see my screen and I'm audible clearly. And the purpose for this session that you might have to say this, Chaitu. Like by the end of the session, you'll be able to understand what exactly this session is meant for, and you'll understand what are the topics that you're gonna learn in the internship period, or like how exactly things work, what you can learn from the most of this online sessions that we conduct from our team Blackbucks here. And I'll explain myself briefly once Syed, I'll give you a context about me as well. And someone who's do classes start from today? Not really, but I'll give a introduction slash how exactly things are working in real time tech now, and how would this particular sessions help you guys to get into something useful eventually. And also, you'll be more interested once you guys got enough context of the day. And I'd really appreciate if you guys have enough patience to get into the class. Can we start this, guys? Yes, no? So we're gonna learn what is generative AI from 0 to 1, and also like I'd not be typically teaching you guys what exactly these things are, and I'll just say you like three stories that I personally know. Maybe from these three stories, you guys infer a lot. That is the context for the day. Chalo, you can just listen this class. For after some time, we'll start this screen sharing. Obviously, after some time, people who are going to leave the session will leave from here. But yeah. So, guys, there are three things that are needed for any of the programming languages or applications that are built today in the market. I'll give a context about how these companies are general guy. If you guys open any of the apps, let's say if you guys open Instagram, or you guys open Instagram, or I'll just share two or three examples, and let's understand things better. So let's say we open Instagram. So yeah, uh, and I just want to see whether your comments as well in the parallel run. So yeah, getting it here, and would love to see your chat as well. So yeah, guys, I'll just give a clarity about how exactly things work here. From the start, how would I want this session to be? Let's say first I'll give a context about the first story, and why does this generative AI term that is being so hyped in the stories out there, every company coming out, and let's say yesterday I work for Microsoft basically. So Microsoft announced that there are 6,000 people, employees got fired, got fired, and they promised that they promised that almost 30% of the workforce already, 30% of workforce got. Okay, am I not audible, guys? Audible? Okay, guys, I'm audible. I'm audible. Okay. Someone who said that Carvi Latina. I promise you'll not feel the same if you guys were till 8 with me. If you guys were till 8 with me, you don't feel that the same. And I reply everyone's comment in this section. And also, I promise, be with me for next half an hour. If you guys don't feel the worth, you can just say me whatever I'll be, and I'll be replying everyone's comment. I'll be reading out everyone's comment in this chat. If you're not able to understand anything from this next half an hour, so మీరు నాకు ఒక హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ టైం ఇవ్వండి. I'll prove what it is and what exactly this matters, or why am I slash why the company here teaching here is different from the many of the companies that you have seen, many of the courses that you have seen, slash many of the people that you have got learned from before, or your college teachers, or your general academics and all. Kante, why is this better, and why did you want to learn from Charan? Actually, guys, my name is Charan. I'm using another laptop, so it is Dhanush here. But yeah, my name is Charan. So I just want this to be clear. I just want 30 minutes of time here. to everyone. If you are able to understand something by the next 30 minutes, let's give it up ahead and go for next half an hour. If you are not able to understand anything from next half an hour, we'll stop this session. How about this? ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్లో మీకు ఏం అర్థం కాలేదు ఏ నేర్చుకోలేనుకో విల్ స్టాప్ దిస్. ఇఫ్ నాట్, విల్ గో ఫర్ నెక్స్ట్ హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్. హౌ అబౌట్ దిస్ గైస్? గుడ్, బ్యాడ్, వర్స్? Reply in the chat. Can you comment? I can't see any comments here. Guys, I'm audible? I'm audible? Yes, no? I'm audible, guys? Chalo, let's start this session with you. Guys, can you just quickly put some message in the chat? Okay. Uh, is this okay? Can you guys put a message in the chat now? Okay, cool, guys. Sorry, I have changed the permission there. I'm really sorry for that. Yeah, chalo. Let's start this. We'll just see for next half an hour. If you are able to understand something out of this, it would be great. If not, we'll just stop the session. Chalo. Yeah, cool, guys. Now, the first story here, I've just said that there are companies that have said that we are removing our employees, and also they said that our 30% of the workforce, 30% of workforce replaced by AI. So this is what the recent prompts here and says that so we'll be able to understand how exactly this would matter. Like, how does it matter even for us? Or I'll just say you a couple of stories here. Let's see how it works. Let's say there is some guy X says that there is a question. Let's say there's a question. There's a question. What is uh hunk? I don't know what is hunk, but generally, let's say there's a question says that. Let's say there's a question says that, guys, I want you all to listen instead of doing something in the chat. Let's say there's a question says that, what is hunk? Now, if you see that, before all this came into picture, if you search this on Google engine, let's say I just search this on Google engine. Before all this came into picture, all generative AI and all came into picture, when I do this Google search, a simple Google search, what used to happen is that Google is nothing but Google is nothing but a book full of pages. Like, Google is nothing but a big book. Google is nothing but a big book, or like a big document. In that document, let's say ఇప్పుడు ఒక పెద్ద document. There's a big document like this. Let's say there's a big document like this. And this document has all the information X, Y, Z, and చెప్పేసి there's lakhs and lakhs of lines of information is there in this big document. And now someone came into the system and searched for what is hunk. And when someone searched for what is hunk, what immediately happens is that search goes to this book. Basically, from Google search engine, it goes to the document place, or where Google is working from. Now, if you see this, what generally Google is to do is that, similar to our Word document, Google works similar to our Word document. Let's say we have many lines of information in our Word document. Similarly, Google do have lot of information. Now, when you search for what is hunk, what does Google do is that they'll split these words. What? They'll split these words. What is hunk? They've got three keywords now. One is what, the other one is hunk is, third one is hunk. So, for example, any question, let's say uh, the question is like this: what is a Israel's stance on Palestine attacks, or like anything, some information, Palestine consent. Now, if this is a question like this, I don't have any understanding with this question, but generally, what does Google do is that they split this big information into the parts of words. They split this big question. Google used to do this before all this AIs, ChatGPTs came into picture. Like you guys used to search in Google before, right? Like this. When you write a question like this, it used to break into parts. That information go into this particular place called a document where it searches based on keywords. Based on keywords. What is this based on keywords? Charan, you said that this is what exactly happens. Like, is that Google does the small parts of information. Let's say there's Israel, there's this term is Israel, there's another term Palestine. So what does these guys do? They take this information, they'll go to this document and they'll ask to find all the nearest informations, and they'll give you as the result. They give you as a result. As a result. Now let's try a sample request. Let's try something sample now. I just open Google now. I just open Google. I'll just open Google. Guys, I'm just generalizing what is happening in today's market. It is not about generative AI very specifically. And what does the relation between full stack, cybersecurity, what is happening in the market? How will an application build from a scratch to what is happens at the end is what gonna be dealt in this session in next half an hour. Please give me a time for that. Am I clear with that? Am I clear with that? So please give me some time. Let's say you are a complete nobody, and you want to understand what is happening in this market. What does these guys are looking for? Why are companies building applications? Let's say the company that we are working with, like now we are using Zoom meeting here. What is happening in this Zoom meeting also will get explained in next half an hour. Please give me some time. Now let's say I just open Google search engine and I'll just type what is the best college? What is the best college? And the searching for what is the best college in India. Now let's say my search was I just searched for what is the best college in India. So the search that I got here was getting University of Delhi, some IIT and Banaras Hindu University, IIT Madras, Jawaharlal Nehru College, and a couple of colleges that I got. And if you see that, I've got a link of a website called College Dunia. There's some article by India Today, and there's another articles by US News and a couple of companies here, top universities and all. But actually, my question was very simple. What is the best college in India? Very simply quoted, singular word, best college in India. I should have got a simple answer saying that this is the answer for this question. But did we got that? No. Why did we got something random here, or like we got almost like hundreds of links here. If you can see this, we've got like hundreds of links. Can you see this? I've got second, third. If you guys open third page, you'll get 11th page again. So you got like hundreds and hundreds of links. Each link here says something about best college in Chennai, best college in Delhi. Something about the college is being mentioned. If you see this, all these responses here has something as best college or has college or India's. If you see these words, they have done a keyword based search. What is this keyword based search? I'll just show you that. Now let's see. What happened here is that they've done a keyword based search, and any article, any article that has India best college and India's best, all these articles came into picture in my Google search now. So why did it happen? And why is this correct way of doing a search? Is it the right way of answering a question? Let's say if I ask you, say me say me what is the best college in Hyderabad, or say me best college in Andhra, or say me best college in Vizag. What do you guys say? You say a college name, correct? Your single college name, yes, no? You'll say a simple college name. But what I have observed is that what I've observed is that Google have given me a couple of answers here. The reason why yeah, I'm audible now? Yeah. So guys, do you guys use PhonePe? Yes, no? And if you use Snapchat, if you took if you have took any screenshot, any screenshot, how does system infers this to the other person? You have seen that. How does it work? How? If you use Snapchat, if you have took a screenshot, any screenshot on the particular screen, it gives notification to the other users saying that they have took a screenshot. How does it does that? Any idea on that case? How does it do that? And next question. If you guys in WhatsApp, in WhatsApp, there is this single time view option. Am I not audible? Single time view for a photo. How does that work? in WhatsApp, single time view photo, how does it work? Like basically, if you take a screenshot of that, the other person won't be able to take a screenshot of it. Let's say I sent an image to him. I sent an image to him. He can't take a screenshot of that. How does it work? And next question. If you guys see this, do Instagram build like for story, react for message, like for post separately? Do they build separately? Like do they like separate lines of code? Let's say if you like an Instagram story or sir voice అర్థం కాలేదు cut అవుతుంది. Am I audible? Am I clear? Yes, no. Yeah. So basically, if you guys see that Instagram has these features, uh, like story, they have this like a story, they have this like a post, they have this like a message, they have an option for like a comment. Do they build separate lines of code? Basically, what is the context? What should it do? Basically, when someone double taps, what should happen? It should just convert the index to red, text to red, and give a notification and notify. Correct? Yes or no? Yes, no. Double tap చేయగానే red color convert అయ్యి it should notify the user. Now, do they build? Do they build separate? Do they build separate lines of code for liking a story, liking a post, and liking a message? They reuse the code. The main point here is that they reuse the code because they don't want to multiple times write them. They reuse the code. This is called maintaining the code base, or we call it as a design pattern. What do we call this as? Design pattern, or we call it as something very specifically, and most of you guys haven't heard this before. That is called system design. There's something called system design that comes with the point that you guys have said now. మీరు ల్యాబ్ ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ లో డబుల్ ట్యాప్ చేసినప్పుడు ఆ కోడ్ మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్ యూజ్ చేయకుండా వై డి దే యూజ్ ఇట్ మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్, ఆర్ వాట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ డిజైన్ ప్యాటర్న్ ఇస్ దిస్? Subroutine is a synonym for function. That is not what we are talking for. Now let's say I'll just say you one more thing. Let's say Instagram have launched a new feature today. Do they launch it for all 1.4 billion users at a time? Let's say 1.4 billion users unnaru. How does it work? How will they launch it for 1.4 billion users at a time? At the end of the day, any interaction on internet is nothing but a small connection from system 1 to system 2. Any interaction that you guys see on Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, even the message that you guys are sending now, you are first sending to the Zoom server. Let's say you're commenting something. This goes to Zoom server. Zoom server, and Zoom server sends that message to me. Because this is the broadcast, because this is the broadcast, because it's a broadcast, there is something called TCP IP application level stuff. Let's say this, we can call it as socket IOs. So what has happens is that, let's say you are sending a comment. Let's say you send a comment, and that comment received to this broadcast. It should deliver at a time to all the participants who are there in this group now. Let's say there are 1,000 people in this meet. All 1,000 should get the same comment at a time. How does that work? And the other point here is that, let's say you guys use Zomato, Swiggy. If not, you guys use Uber, Rapido, Ola. Let's say there is a person P1. There is a person P1. There's a person P1 has booked a ride on Rapido or Uber or Ola. Now, immediately, immediately do, let's say, let's say if someone, I'll just disable the chat for some time. Yeah. Now let's say if you book a ride in Hyderabad, if you book a ride in Hyderabad from a location Alpha, will you get will you get a rider assigned someone from Bangalore? Let's say you booked a ride in Hyderabad. Will you get a rider assigned from Bangalore? This is Hyderabad, someone booked a ride. And let's say all the people in Hyderabad who have booked the rides in next 10 minutes. Now the time is 7:53. For next 10 minutes, all Uber rides of Hyderabad got assigned to the riders of Bangalore. How will that have get affected? What will happen? What will happen? What will happen, guys? For the next 10 minutes, Uber's all rides in Hyderabad got connected to someone. Guys, you can just chat. My point is, no, they won't. Like basically, if you ride, basically according to the Uber's principles, what happens for every they have a cancellation fee as well. Fee as well. And also the pain point is not the cancellation fee or the application itself. Most of the users, most of the users gets dropped off from the application itself. Dropped off from the app itself. From the app itself. Let's say after spending a lot of money from Uber, Rapido, and all guys, they've got like lot of promotion done. Later after promotions, let's say after these many promotions, one guy have installed Uber and he have done an activation step, and then he got into the stage of building an application and book a ride. Now he got an assigning from someone in Bangalore. Definitely there is something goes wrong, that is called user experience. Flops. And that is a very big problem for any of the companies. Big problem for any SaaS companies. What is this SaaS? SaaS B2B. So what is this? Basically, you don't own the product, but you use. It's called SaaS. For example, we are all using Zoom here, Zoom meetings now. Zoom we are all using. But what happens in the background? We never own Zoom. We just pay them for what we use. Am I clear, guys? We just pay them for what we use. And that is how exactly companies work in SaaS. I just want to clearly put these points out. For a company to be there are few roles that exist: UI, UX, product managers, product designers, which are nothing but UI, UX designers, sample set of UI, UX. Then there's something called developers. We call them as product developers. Then there's something called testing. There's something called infrastructure. And there's something called customer success, security, customer success. Most of you guys here who have to give your internships fall into this. Yes or no? If you guys are into full stack development or if you are into any of the developments here, you guys fall into this. And there is for every company, they want to get evolved day on day. They want to get better from using less man force. They want to make their works automated. And that way, they use this artificial intelligence for better decisions, for better workflow management. There could be any of the reasons here. Now we'll give a context about every of the users here and also what is happens production. Let's say you have an idea. How will this go to revenue is what I'm gonna teach next. Are you all interested for that, or like shall we just wind it up here? From this, I'll give from an idea stage to how will that go to revenue. I'll give a clarity understanding of how does it help you. Were you all interested in that topic? Now the time is 8 o'clock. Should I continue or like can you just flop it up from here? Attendance link actually from your roll numbers here itself, I think it will get. Who are all saying no, you can just leave the meet. So now, let's say ideation. Generally, if there's an idea, how to evaluate it? How to evaluate it? There is a concept called Delta 4. You can watch this video on YouTube by Kunal Shah. What does this say is that current scenario of the problem that you guys are solving, of the problem versus your solution to that. current scenario of the problem to that versus your solution to that. Let's say, let's take an example of Zomato here. Now we let's say going 10 kilometers to a restaurant, waiting for 15 minutes to get food prepared and served, and traveling back 10 kilometers after dinner or lunch, after dinner, versus opening mobile, selecting few buttons, food, clicking on buy now. Your food is ready. The food is delivered. Now, in the first scenario, how much would you rate? How much would you rate the experience out of 10? నువ్వు 10 కిలోమీటర్స్ వెళ్ళి ఫుడ్ తిని ఒక 15 మినిట్స్ వెయిట్ చేసి వాటి ఫుడ్ తీసుకొని మళ్ళీ నువ్వు 10 మినిట్స్ డ్రైవింగ్ చేసుకుంటే బై నౌ గోయింగ్ 10 కిలోమీటర్స్ with your vehicle, waiting there, having food and coming back for 20 minutes. How does this experience on a scale of 10, guys? On a scale of 10, on a scale of 10, how much would you rate this experience? Someone said 5, someone said 7. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Let's take it on, guys. Stop, stop. Let's take an average of. Let's take an average of. On a scale of 10, let's consider it as 4 to 6. I don't even consider 6, but yeah, 4 to 6. Now rate this. How much would you rate opening your mobile, ordering something, and someone coming to your food, something coming to your food, then giving you your food and saying that thank you, sir, thank you for the order, and your food is delivered. How much would you rate this? Someone said 9, someone said 10, 8, 9, 10. Now the confidence rate here is that says 4 to 6, 8 to 10. The point here is, the point that I'm gonna make here is, the point here is make here is already existing system, already existing system versus your new idea. The difference between the experiences should be, not should be, if it is, if it is more than or equal to 4, greater than or equal to 4, then it is irreversible. What is irreversible means? ఒక్కసారి జొమాటోలో 10 కిలోమీటర్స్ నుంచి ఆర్డర్ చేసుకున్న అతను ఒక్కసారి చేసుకుని దాన్ని ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ చేసిన అతను 50 రూపీస్ కనో 5 రూపీస్ కనో 20 రూపీస్ డిఫరెన్స్ కోసం he will not travel 10 kilometers and have the food and come back. Am I clear? That is called irreversible stage of a company. అలాంటి ఐడియా, ఏ ఐడియాని ఎవాల్యుయేట్ చేయడానికి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీరు ఇప్పుడు యూఆర్ ఆల్ 1000 people are there in this meet now. I'll just show you the exact number. 839 members are there in this meet now. Let's say 839 students sitting in a class and Charan teaching it. What is the experience that you guys have? Worst casely 2 or 3 out of 10. Now you are able to see my screen so properly, and you are able to hear my voice so properly, and you are able to talk to me like person. You are able to talk to me. And the experience at the Zoom bot for 839 people, without a big auditorium, without a big mic, without a big setup, nothing. You're just sitting at your home, opening your mobile, and were able to watch me see whatever I'm doing. Now the system reversal of Zoom meeting to a big auditorium and having 809 students sitting in a room is merely impossible. Agree or disagree on this? Yes, no. That is called idea evaluation stage of a company. That is the idea evaluation stage of a company. That is how you evaluate your idea. And you can just watch more about this on YouTube by Kunal Shah. There's a guy called Kunal Shah. You can watch that video to get more understanding on this. After ideation stage, you will think about what does your product should have, and what is the differences that your product should bring, and what are the main features of your product. That is called product requirement document. Your product or service, whatever it could be, requirements document. నువ్వు ఏమిద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నావు, నీ దగ్గర స్పెషల్ ఏమున్నాయి, you will build everything in and out. Let's say, for example, if I want to build a Rapido tomorrow, or if I want to build a Zomato tomorrow, I'll just make sure to have a booking system which can help restaurant partners to get more orders, and help most of the companies to get the meal served on time. That written on a document called product requirement document. Based on this requirement document, product requirement document, based on this document, there is someone sitting in a room and builds a design. What is this design means? What is this design? It shows how does your screens look like. First screen, second screen, third. What does this first screen for? What does this second screen for? What is this first screen for? What is the second screen for? And how does this work? Let's say if you guys see recently, PhonePe have changed the interface. PhonePe's interface have changed to they made their scanner come to the center of the screen. Scanner at the center. It was a well thought decision. Who took this decision? Who took this decision? How does that decision took happen? How does it work on the scale? Is that they have something called design teams, UI UX teams. They work on these teams to make your first design, which gives a clear understanding of how should a workflow be there for a product, and a clear understanding of how to use that. Then after design, it goes to front end developers, which gives a clear idea about front end. Let's say if you guys have seen HTML, CSS, JavaScript, this is the front, what you guys see. And there's something called backend developers. The information that you guys write, store in database. Let's say this is your user's computer, and this is your server. Now user clicked a button here, click the button. Let's say click the button. User clicked the button. This clicked button should know there's a notification happened to the other user in the world. Now let's say you click the button, and the other user in the world, somewhere in the world, should get notified. And that happens through something called backend. That backend will take care of creating a notification for this guy. Backend. And my system should be aware for what purpose does this guy have liked it or like clicked on it, should be stored somewhere. And that is called database. And that is called database. DB. Now, you build a system. Now, your system able to handle only 10,000 users per day, 10K users per day. per day. But companies like Geo Cinema viewers in a IPL live stream, in a IPL live crosses 20 million viewers. If the match is on a very high strike, it will be 20 million viewers watching it a single stretch, and your system is built only for 10K users per day. How does this even get scaled? That is, that is where system design, system design, real developer comes into picture. System design, SDE2, SDE3 developers, which are 5 years, 6 years experienced developers. From there, your feedback cycle, design, development, system design, design, development, system design. New problem, new design, new development, new system design. This is how companies work. And at some point, because you have gone through this stages called acquisition. What is this acquisition? I'll say example of Snapchat. You install Snapchat, instance Snapchat is called acquisition. అంటే నీకు తెలిసింది స్నాప్చాట్ అంటే ఒకటి ఉంది, దీంట్లో ఫిల్టర్స్ వస్తాయి, ఫొటోస్ మంచిగా వస్తాయి, వీ కెన్ పుట్ స్నాప్స్ అని తెలిసింది. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ అక్వజిషన్ స్టేజ్ అండ్ యూ ఇన్స్టాల్ ద అప్లికేషన్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ అక్వజిషన్. నిన్ను వాడు అక్వైర్ చేసుకున్నాడు, నువ్వు వాడే ఒక మనిషిని వాడు తెచ్చుకున్నాడు ఆ కంపెనీకి. అంటే ఇప్పటిదాకా 2400 యూజర్స్ ఉంటే నీ వల్ల 2400 2341 యూజర్స్ అయ్యారు బికాస్ ఆఫ్ యూ. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ అక్వజిషన్ స్టేట్. We call it as acquired user. Acquired user. Later, after acquisition, there is something called activation. Activation. This guy, this guy started using it. Using it. Started using it. Is called activated user. And for example, in case of Snapchat, you put your first snap, or you saved a chat, saved a snap, is called activated user. You are an activated user if you have first snap పెట్టినా, నీ స్నాప్ సేవ్ చేసుకున్నావు ఎవరిదైనా, it is called activation stage. Then third stage comes the most important stage of any company called retention stage. Retention stage. They have to build an application such that you should open this application every day 2 or 3 times, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. You should open this application hundreds and hundreds of times. That is called retention stage. That is why these companies will send you notifications, new features, new engagement cycles. Let's say before few days, there is no like option, there is no notes option in Instagram, there is no like a story option. There are no options like this. New features, new engagement criteria they build to make sure that your retender user, you are using the application every single day and in and day out. You are putting hundreds of thousands of snaps, you are maintaining streaks, is called retention stage of the company. And then the final stage of any company called monetization. What is this monetization means? Where you start making money from the product. Now you got so addicted with Snapchat, you will pay money for buying filters, uh, Snapchat Prime for some private messaging platform or storage, like that you'll pay. That is how companies work. AARM, acquisition, activation, retention, and monetization. This is how companies work. Acquisition, activation, retention, and monetization. You want to check it with Geo. They made you to install Geo Sims, gave it for free. Then they gave it activation. You made your first recharge. Then you have started using Geo Cinema, Geo Savan, all the lives, everything. Then you got return reviews, and now they made the charges to 300 rupees per month for monetization. True or false? Let's just check for Zomato. First, they gave coupon codes, they gave discounts, everything. You install the application, you made your first order, you got addicted to the application, and then now you are paying for deliveries. Also, you make your no cash on deliveries, you'll just directly make the payment. That is called AR. Any company that you have seen in the market, let's say you use Zoom also. They gave free, started using, attended, people are started using Zoom every day on day out. Like let's say all the meetings are happening on Zoom. Now they started monetizing with the bigger ones. Let's say if you see this meeting has 723 members now. They have to pay like 20,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees a month to use this application. Do you guys understood something from this as? Yes, no. Did you understood the stage of the companies? How does companies work in the backend? Yes, no. First, ideation. First, ideation to product requirement documents, then design, then system design. How does it build it? And that is where monetization comes into picture. Acquisition, activation, retention, monetization. I'll ask for attendance link, guys. Just give me a second. Yeah, guys. Feedback form is shared in the group. Please go through that. Yeah. So first we have started with how does AI have started and what are the key features that we have seen on a day-to-day life and what are the reasons behind this. Then we started understanding what does applications of Zomato, Swiggy, Uber, and gonna be. And then we started what are the different roles does companies have, UI, UX, product managers. Can you provide this note, sir? Yeah, I'll just share the link for this, or I'll will if there is any group, I'll share it in the group, guys. Now, then we started about understanding ideation to revenues. How do we do that? First, ideation stages, Delta 4. Then we have seen product requirement documents. Then what is design phases and what is this full stack development part. Then we have understood what is acquisition to monetization game for a company. How have you get this, guys? Can you put one plus one in the chat if you guys understood what you have done today? Put plus one in the chat if you guys understood something from this class. Yeah, guys, I'll try to share these notes to you all, and also like put the add things in the feedback form. And if you haven't heard anything today, guys, you'll be learning a lot in this uh, period of time with us. Basically, you'll be having clear understanding of any of the roles that you guys got into. You'll get a clear understanding from the team. They'll be helping out to the particular domains. This particular session here gives a context about what these different domains are, what these different domains are, and how does this help in understanding the overall understanding of any application. Let's say you chose mon stack development, or you chose artificial intelligence, or you chose cyber security. How does they actually get related is what I have taught today, and you'll get more context about the classes on this from different lectures on day-to-day basis from here on. Am I clear, guys? Yeah, we will share in the group, guys. I'll just share it in the group. Yeah, we'll share that. Or you can see it in the chat as well. You can send it in the chat as well. You can download it here, or you can just use. We'll share it in the WhatsApp groups, guys. Yeah, guys. Nice meeting you. I hope you have learned something useful today.